Hello, in this video we'll be making an exploded view bench. The design of this bench came out by looking at some assembly instructions for a table, hence the name exploded view bench. Just take a look at those plans and you'll get it. I don't even know if that's a proper name. So here's some woodworking, planer, thicknesser. Now let's move on to the bandsaw. And if you're wondering if my bandsaw cuts good enough for a glued joint, the answer is no. No way. And since my jointer's fence has no angle adjustment, I had to go to my CNC even for such a simple job. I spent half a day at the CNC building some supports for the boards, then using those supports for cutting perfect 45 degrees edges on both sides, for each of the 16 boards that are going to become the thick legs of my bench. I ended up with the most accurate boards that I ever made. But those boards required some perfectly calibrated cores. I could have used the thicknesser, but I was so excited about using the CNC that I ended up using it for cutting the cores too. I used an old piece of scrap remaining from an old countertop and that did the job. I still had to glue them. I used the old tape trick that really worked great even though I didn't expect that. A lot of glue, some good clamping, and there I was waiting for the glue to dry while trying to think ahead the next steps. Making such an exposed project meant everything had to match perfect. I could have used some standard dowels and a domino, but that's not me and I don't have one. I designed it with some different dimensions in mind, so I had to make custom dowels. Plus, the contrasting color makes the design really stand out, and I didn't want to throw that away just to make things easier. So there I was making custom supports for the first half of the dowels, cutting that first half, then making different supports for the second half, and cutting the second half. And after repeating this for 6 times, I had this pile of dowels. And if you noticed something weird in the process, yes, each of the 2 cuts was made in 2 stages. Just take a closer look here and see the top part is already cut slightly smaller than the rest. It's something that I did on purpose to leave some room for the glue to pile up in case I added too much when assembling the bench together. I know it seems a quick thing to do, but making the dowels took some time, so the 4 legs were cured. Time to move on and make all the necessary cuts. I drilled all the holes for the dowels on the CNC. You simply cannot beat that precision, and when making such a design, the strength is in that precision. Have you seen us jumping on the bench? Here, take a look again. We had to prove the strength to those who didn't believe it would hold. Back to the drilling, it's easy to notice that all the holes were drilled before cutting the shapes. The curve of the legs matches perfectly the curve of the rails, so it doesn't matter. Making both holes, the ones on the legs and the ones on the rails, before cutting the curves meant I knew for sure everything would align perfectly. Just throw a piece of wood on the table, press a couple of keys and there it is. Don't people summarize CNC like that? Well, you don't feel like it after having to cut some 1/3 to 2/3 ratio curves on an 8 cm thick legs all the way through, on all 4 sides, without a 4th axis on the CNC. Doesn't sound so nice, does it? Well, improvising is the thing I like most. Not true, I like it most just when it turns out okay, otherwise I simply hate it. So there I was, splitting the cut in 2, building a support to help align the already cut part to the fence on the CNC. In theory, everything should have lined up, but I have to confess that there was some sanding, and I'm not going to tell you how much. Do you remember that I told you I had to make the holes in the legs and the rails before cutting the curves? There I was, having to cut holes in the ends of some 1.2 meters long pieces of wood, the rails, on a CNC that stands less than a meter tall. Some brainstorming, some swearing, some giving up, and thinking about making the bench smaller. Well, nothing was something I was okay with. Back to the computer, design an aluminum plate, mill it on the CNC, modify the firmware of the CNC to switch the axis, and I was standing in front of a horizontal boring machine, being able to drill the ends of the long rails just as I designed them. It turned out to have some advantages over the normal layout of the CNC because there was no more buildup of wood chips in the deep hole, so I used it for the rest of the pieces that I didn't drill yet. I had already made some of them by clamping them upside to the end of the CNC table, which is something that is good enough when you don't have too long pieces. And most of the times you don't have those long pieces, I only used the horizontal plate once more when I was making an oak bed. With such a small workshop, the CNC that I have had to be small too, so cutting the curves of the long rails and of the top of the countertop was another challenge. I easily solved it using two separate operations by changing the position of the pieces on the table and of course updating the program. I'm not going to talk about the technical machinist stuff. If you want to know about that, there's plenty on my other channel, Open Source CNC. Just visit the link in the description and you'll find a lot of information there. That's the most part of the project. There were still some little things that had to be done, such as these pieces that form the bottom shelf, these pieces that hold the bottom shelf, but nothing fancy, just matching the grain, flattening, squaring, cutting to length. I tend to fall for every piece of wood that I use in my projects. The grain, the colors, everything is unique and special. And the way some simple cuts change that piece are mesmerizing. One of the things that I love about the CNC is that I don't have to be focused on keeping my fingers while making cuts and being able to admire its beauty and the way everything changes along the way. Nothing compares to the difference between a fresh shaped part and a part that has been sanded, varnished, oiled, with a slightly beveled edges with no more defects whatsoever. A woodworker knows there's no perfect job, no perfect result, but knowing how to fix all those problems is half of the fun. It's just been a few minutes and I've shown you 3 months of struggle in my life in the shop. Well, my 3 months of struggle had to come to an end the moment I've been waiting for, well, kind of, because I had just one shot at it. Everything was so tight that there was no way back once hammered in place. Scared, worried, but confident that everything will fit together, I started assembling the bench. Did you notice the bright orange coat? Yeah, I started in late summer and I assembled it in winter. Those were the most frightening and most satisfying 30 minutes that I've ever lived in the workshop. Such a smooth fit from start to end, well, I didn't really think it was possible. All of that thanks to the best tool that I've used, my beloved CNC, which I'll be using more and more in my projects, and I can say for sure that I'm still making woodworking. You simply cannot make wooden things without knowing wood is not just a material. It has a life of its own, it has moods, it has ups and downs, it fails you in the dearest moment, and it still holds on when you almost gave up. Enough emotional talk, here is the result. I could say it was the most challenging project that I ever made, but the truth is every project had its own challenges, its own problems and its own victories. From the first piece of construction wood that I ever flattened up to this bench built with the help of my CNC, it was a long journey that I plan on continuing. I'll keep on making videos even though the way I do things has dramatically changed over time. Thank you for watching and let's meet next time for the next challenging project.